Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We are going to have a great webinar with Kemp Cole, Regional Vice President of Manhattan Life. As you have questions, please type them in the question box on your control panel at the bottom on the right side of the screen. We will answer them at the end of the presentation. After the webinar, please give me a call if you'd like to receive a copy of today's webinar or to answer any additional questions you may have. Thank you again for joining us, and Kemp, go ahead and take it away.
Great. I'll see if I can get over to my slides. So, maybe a challenge, but let's take a shot at it here. There we go. All right. So you see my slide?
Yes, you're good to go, Kemp.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure it said Secure Advantage there. So I'm going to assume that you're seeing it. My lovely picture gives it away. So anyway, they here today with the Jetter Group, which I'm honored to be a part of, and very strong group that represents their agents well. Integrity is at the forefront of what they do, and I'm excited today to share with you our final expense product called the Secure Advantage. And before we hop into that, I thought I might give a brief overview of Manhattan and the products that we offer. Manhattan's been around since 1870, so that's over 173 years. They've been a privately held company, which privately held companies, as you know, make decisions based on the client, and the client is the policyholder and the agent, versus a stock held company making decisions what's best for stockholder value. So I think that's really important here. Our first product, I'll roll through these pretty quick. We also offer a home health care product for those clients that can't get approved for long-term care, or they take a large elimination period to get it affordable. This home health care plan can fit into either one of those places. Very easy underwriting, 2 knockout questions, that's it. And that's a product we could cover another time. Secure Advantage, which we'll be talking about today. We also offer cancer, heart, and stroke policy, do Medicare supplements, dental, vision, hearing, and then we offer accident coverage. So just want to kind of give you an overview of everything that we do offer. But like I said, let's focus today on the Secure Advantage, because that's the product that is going to be best for your clients. In fact, I'll make the statement up front. I think I have not been proved wrong yet, but for your clients, this is the best policy. Nobody can beat my rates on it if they can qualify for it. It's for your healthier clients. I say they need to be average health or better, but you can't find a premium that's better for them than the Secure Advantage. Let's talk a little bit about Secure Advantage. It's a final expense plan, which means it's a permanent product. It's not a term policy that they have to reapply for or the rates go up on. Benefits never go down, premiums never go up. That's always a lot of comfort to your policyholder. Starts building full face value day 1. Over the life of the policy, it'll build up a cash value that they can borrow against, that they can cash it in for a paid up policy. Several different things you can use that for. The maximum benefit levels of this permanent product are ages 0 to 49, 50,000. So I find this is kind of an unusual thing. We'll start insuring at 6 months old. And then we've got, goes up to 49 on that. Then we've got, it's the same policy, but they've split it in 2 because the underwriting's a little bit different on 0 to 49 and 50 to 80. But on 50 to 80, you can see there's the maximum amounts. And then 81 to 85, they can apply for up to $15,000 worth of coverage. You've got an accidental death benefit that's available up until they're age 65. A very inexpensive way to pump up the benefits for your clients. And then, as I told you, they split it into two parts, and I'll cover both parts today. If you're going to insure somebody 0 to 49, or if you're going to go 50 to 85, there's just a few little differences between them, but you need to understand what they are. These are the states that it's approved to sell in. In Idaho, a side note for them, they do not have the two separate policies. They've got one policy there that's ages 0 to 85. So let's start off with the 0 to 49, and we'll take a walk through it. This comes out of the agent guide. Both policies, in fact, every policy that Manhattan writes, they have an agent guide that goes along with it, and it is very comprehensive. Pretty much it can answer any question that you want or have. And if you can't answer it, they'll give phone numbers and email addresses that you can write to get more information. I've already made this comment, it's for your healthier clients. So like I said, if they're in poor health, don't worry about applying for it because they're probably not going to pass. But like I said, if they're average or better health, then they would be a good candidate. Ages 0 to 49, minimum face amounts $3,000, and they can apply up to $50,000. So then every application that we have requires a phone call. It can be a three-way call with you, the client, and Aptical. That's our third party that we employ to take these calls, and you see their hours there are very liberal. They're open 8:30 to midnight Eastern time, Monday through Friday. And then on weekends, they're open 10 to 10. So I'm pretty sure that you can make time somewhere in there to have this phone call. It's a simple phone call. And if you want to get advance notice, if you want to get notice like really quick, it gives you instructions what you need to do to get it turned in, and then you can turn around after the phone interview and find out if your client is going to be issued or not. Here we've got our height and weight table for ages 0 to 49, and the preferred rate that on the rate chart is a non-smoker, and the standard rate is for tobacco users. And so you've got a weight chart for 0 to 49. You'll have a separate one for 50 to 85. We'll take a look at how do you submit business to the company, take a look at the application. You can fax it in if you want to. You can snail mail it. You know, that's an option. We take paper applications, and we also have an e-application if you're comfortable with that. So we offer multiple ways that you can turn this in and get your business processed. So over on the right side is the application. As you can see, it's pretty basic information, nothing tricky. We will take a tax identification number in lieu of a social security number if they don't have one. And then the big question I have there, have they used tobacco in the last 2 years? So again, that'll determine whether they're standard or preferred rate. As you go through the health questions, I want you to notice in the past 12 months, in the last 2 years, so you only have to go back whatever time frame that they're giving you there and to answer yes or no on the questions. And they're pretty simple. Take a look at the next page. You go on there, and the last 4 years. They've been treated for cancer pretty much. And they go on, has proposed insured ever been treated for these conditions? And they're pretty major conditions. During the last 24 months, and then if you're under age 50, have you been diagnosed with these conditions? That's pretty much it. You sign the application saying everything's true and correct to the best of your knowledge. The insured signs it. If you're doing the e-application, the mother's maiden name is the signature of the client. Really, really easy. And the client doesn't have to reply to anything or click on anything. They give the mother's maiden name, and that suffices for their signature. Down here, I put, it's not on the application on the 0 to 49, but it is on the 5085. I still like putting it here. The telephone interview code, at the end of the call, they'll give you a 4-digit code. I'm sorry, 6-digit code. And even though it's not asking for it on the application, I would enter it in this box for comments. It's where you put their medication and so on, just to match it up with the application really quick. And on the 50 to 85, it is a part of the application. Here, I just added it just to make the note. I would encourage you to do it. Take a look at the bank draft authorization form. I think that's pretty standard. Their information. Again, if you do the e-app, it pulls all the stuff up for you. So this is like getting the MIB, getting the release to do that, do a prescription check, just to disclose records. That's what this authorization is here. And with that, you can see that the application's not tricky. They're not trying to fake anybody out. Really straightforward. If you look at your agent guide, again, it'll help navigate you through any questions that might come up. So with that, let's take a look at the age 50 to 85 product. Like I said, it's a little bit different on the underwriting, but pretty similar at the same time. So ages 50 to 85. And again, it says that this is a Secure Advantage policy is for your healthier clients. We've discussed that. You've got the same telephone interview. Aptical, again, is the provider, and their hours are pretty liberal. And it's just a 3-way call. So there's the phone number for them. Again, it's on the application, and it gives you the times that they're open to receive calls. Major holidays, they'll be closed on those, but they'll send a note out ahead of time about that. Let's look at the underwriting and the maximum amounts of coverage that you would have. So again, it goes over the minimum face amount for ages 50 to 85 is $5,000 is the minimum. You can get up to $25,000, 50 to 80, and then 81 to 85, they can get $15,000. And again, just to make the point, it's permanent coverage, so the rates don't go up and the premiums stay the same. So with that, take a look at the height and weight chart. Height and weight on the 50 to 85 determines if they're preferred or standard. Tobacco is not taken into consideration on 50 to 85. It's just their weight will determine whether they're preferred or standard. And it gives you the weight, the maximum weight. You can see, I believe they're pretty liberal with what they have for the height and weight. So hopefully that makes sense. If you're above that weight. If you're above the maximum weight, you cannot be insured. So that's just what that's talking about there. So again, tobacco is not taken into consideration for preferred or standard. It's based on weight. On submitting applications, again, everything I'm showing you, I got straight out of our agent guide, so you've got access to all of this. Talks about you can fax it, you can scan it and send it in, or you can send it by mail. We don't penalize for doing paper applications. There's the fax cover sheet if you're going to be faxing it in. And then you've got a fraud notice that you got to make sure that you get signed in these certain states. And you just initial that right there. Again, if you do the e-application, all this stuff pops up for you, so you don't have to think about it. It will not let you turn the app in unless you filled out all the appropriate form. So here's the front of the application, just getting their basic information, who their beneficiaries are. And then here's the health questions. Want to spend a minute here, kind of slow down a little bit. It says here, if you answer yes to any of the below questions, don't turn it in. The policy is not going to be issued. And as an agent, this is what I want to know. I don't want to turn something in hoping that it's going to go through. You can turn it in and have a good sense that yes, they're going to take it. So it goes through that last question there, number 16, and then you start on section E, which is basically, I kind of went a little too fast, is just your prescriptions. If you run out of lines, it'll have some more lines, or you can put it in the comment section. So with that, look at the last part of the application. So how much is the face amount? What are you applying for? You need to make sure you get it correct, so the rates match up. Are you going to do the accidental death benefit with it? And if so, which amount did you pick? And then what premium mode did they make? Monthly bank draft. They can actually write a check every quarter, half year, year. And then you put what your quoted premium, what mode that was too. Applicants sign it. Then down there you see, this is, I talked about it before, that 6-digit code that you get at the end of the phone call. You enter that right there. Keeps all the lines straight. Everybody knows what we're doing. And then the last thing is the authorization to disclose records for the 50 to 85, just releasing that we can check in to your protected health information with MIB or the prescription check. And then last but not least, they sign it here and you sign it also. So here's that agent guide, or actually the rates. The rates, there's so many of them, I couldn't get it squeezed on a slide. So I'm giving you examples here just to give you a feel for what the rates and benefits could be. Here we have a preferred female, 65 years old, $10,000 policies, $37.25. As she gets older, at age 70 or 80, the premiums stay the same. It's permanent coverage, it never changes. 45, preferred rate, male, 20,000, $37. Got an 80-year-old female, $5,000 final expense, $47.28, very affordable. 35-year-old male, smoker or standard, 10,000 is $18.11. And then I've got a 10-year-old female, $10,000, $8 a month. Again, it's kind of unusual that the final expense will go down to cover kids. They all build cash value that you can borrow against, or you can use the cash value to pay the premiums if they're between a rock and a hard place. Here are the states that we currently have the final expense approved in. You can tell the Southeast is, we got it covered really good, and that's where our research showed us we needed to go first because that's where most of those policies are written. But we do spread out west a little bit and go a little bit north. You might just look, as long as they live in one of these states, you can offer them the coverage. And with that, that's the end of our presentation there. And I can go back and try to find the other slide. I'm Kemp Cole, and let me stop this and then try to exit out and then go back to our other slide. So with that, I'm assuming you're seeing my ending slide here that says Jetter on it.
Yes, it was there.
Okay. It's still there, I hope.
Yes, sir.
Good, good. So I'll let you take it back over and then we'll see if there's any questions we can field.
Perfect. Yeah, it looks like we do have a question. Is it going to be in Washington and anytime soon?
The honest answer is no. I don't think it'll be anytime soon. It's on the list, but I don't think it's at the top of the list. So we'll eventually get there, but if it got there by the end of 24, I would be pretty happy.
Perfect. Looks like we have one more question. With Secure Advantage, is there a death benefit rider?
What benefit rider?
Death benefit rider?
And you've got the accidental death benefit that you can add to the policy, and that's available on there for either 5 or 10,000. It'll pay that in addition to the base amount that you've got. And that face amount, when you get it, it's not a graded benefit. Day one, when that policy is issued, whatever their face amount is, that's the benefit that they'll get if they pass away day one.
All right. Sounds good. I think that is the last of the questions that we have. So thank you, Kemp, for the great presentation, and thank you everyone for joining us. Feel free to reach out with any questions you may have. We have a marketing specialist for all lines of business, as well as a dedicated case managers and in-house underwriter, all with multiple years of experience. So whether you have questions on this presentation, other final expense products, or other lines of business, we'll be happy to assist you. Thank you very much once again, and everyone have a great day.
Great. I'm happy to be here with Jetter.
Thanks again, Kemp.
Uh-huh.